Singing along with my theme tune, and so I was. I don't know if this looks any different to you. I've gone back to the old laptop because my more expensive, newer laptop just does its fucked up thing of refusing to let the browser, etc., see my webcam and mic. Hello, Kirsty. Hello. Lovely to see you. And hello, honey. So I'm going to warm up. Got to be doing laser discs with Charlie in a bit. I'm going to decant a cocktail. What have I got in here? Oh, okay, the Vicky. That needs to stay there for a month or so. The Cure can stay there till I'm ready. The J Ward, that's what I'm decanting. Okay. My own creation. I'm the clever guy. Okay. We see how much angel share I lost in 2 weeks. It shouldn't be too much. So I have 2 bottles. So just see how this goes. There we go. Sorry, we weren't getting peeing ASMR. I feel like I've got to deliver on peeing ASMR. No, I'm as a precaution, I'm fine straining this. I don't think I need to. I think all the loose bits of charred wood have worked themselves loose. Also, I'll look at what this looks like for clarity. I might put it through a coffee filter. Okay. How's that looking? It looks pretty good for clarity. I don't think it needs to go through a filter. All right. Uncork that sucker. Strain a bit more. Don't think this will overflow. Rub it off that way and pour the rest out through the hole to get it done quicker. Ooh, man, that was close. Okay, so almost no angel share loss there, which is nice. All right, so it's no longer a J Ward, but I'm going to stick some wine in the barrel to keep it wet. Because if it dries out, it leaks. Okay, first you lid on. Now, oh, there you go. Oh, look, there were some tiny bits of wood char in there, so, you know, I am vindicated with fine straining it. Pour this cheap red wine in. Going to keep the barrel wet. All right. Ooh, wow, there's some sediment in there. Gunge. To clean that. Okay. There. Bung back in the bung hole. And I might give myself a pour of this. That's nice clarity. Wasn't sure if it'd be cloudy. Okay. Now sit down. See what's happening with the chat. Ah, who's that? Neon Chip. Hello. Charlie, Home for the Elderly. And hello, Pat. Oh yeah. I'm just honey, I don't think they're audio laserdiscs, they're video laserdiscs, but they're of music. Safa, date night was at a small venue and there was quite a few people there and it was nice. I get to do interesting answers to you about what I ate last night, at least. Tonight it was just a light and easy spaghetti and meatballs, which is good. What we had last night, we had these deep fried crumbed prawns, fucking yum. Arancini, fucking yum. This artichoke and leek dip, which is really fun, and it was warm with bread. It was really good. Then we had a vegetarian nachos and a bunch of cocktails. It was fucking good. Pat, I am doing fine. How you doing, big guy? So, yeah, warm up. I'm gonna drink. See what's what in chat land. I have edited the latest book movie video. Fancier editing than in most of my book movie videos. So if it's your birthday next week, it's going to be 30 Celsius. Yeah, we're getting 29, 30 Celsius this week. I'm not going into the office this week. Mrs. Angry's quite sick, and I'm sure I've been exposed to it. I feel like maybe I'm just starting to get the symptoms, but even if I'm not symptomatic, pretty sure I'd be contagious, and no one's going to thank me for going into the office and making everyone else sick. So I'm going to be working from home this week, and I'll only actually take sick days if I feel absolutely rat shit. Otherwise, I'll just work from home, pace myself. Forgot to get an orange for my cocktails tonight. I feel lacking, but I'll dress it up with some cherries. Stab. Oh, that seems to be a big one, as the actress said to the bishop. Well, I don't use much fuel driving to the train station, but yes, month of April, Victoria is going to have free public transport to try and encourage people not to drive to work. It's going to go in cycles. Like Mrs. Angry hadn't been keeping up with the fuel crisis situation, so she was surprised when I said they were doing free public transport. So no, they've been talking about phases for a little while. Phase 1's free public transport. Phase 2 is saying, if you can work from home, you probably should. And phase 3 is fuel rationing. And unless there is radical change in the stupid fuckery Israel and the US are doing in the Middle East, and the stupid fuckery Iran's doing in retaliation, it's all going to go to shit in 2-3 weeks. Fuel rationing in April, almost definitely. So, something to look forward to? Question mark? I didn't put I'll put the chat up here for a while. And then it's going to disappear again when I do the Laserdisc talk. Charlie and Sim are both joining in. And not that I think it'll work saying this, but I will be giving out the link a little bit, but it's specifically for the Laserdisc talk. So that's just going to be Charlie and Sim and we'll do Laserdisc talk. And here's Sim, end up with staying at home like the first time Donald Trump was in power. Weird coincidence that. Yeah, and the funny thing is it's really likely to be very close to the exact 6-year anniversary of the first COVID work from home orders. I could do that too, Charlie. Just send it to you on Discord to avoid confusion. Okay, I'm assuming that typo was Japan. And okay, are you saying the legal drinking age in Japan is 20? Justin, we've only really just started talking, having the normal ramble. Tasty. Yeah, so that's the whole thing. Yeah, I don't really know what Japanese drinking culture is. They have those really cool neighborhood bars that can only get a few people in them, and you get this personalized bartender service where they put on a whole show for you. Of course, some people will associate sake with Japan. The Japanese whiskey makers are very serious, big players on the world stage. You do get these stories of the overworked salaryman after working an excessive amount in the office, then gets blackout drunk and collapses in the street. Look, I'll find. I think there was a collection called Drunk Salaryman. Drunk Salaryman. So we get this vibe of Japan being a restrained culture, but you get this thing with salarymen passing out in the street. So let's have a look. Look, I'll share screen. I've had cricket and cicadas for a little while, Safa. Tell you, big weekend, catching up newish release films. Cold Storage, How to Make a Killing, Shelter, Send Help, and Jack Black's Anaconda. Seems Celery Man is what Peter Davison got called by your brother. Yes, the celery. This is salary, as in being paid, which I suspect you knew. Let's look at Drunk Salary Man. So yes, I know someone's drawn a line around this guy. Oh, this particular photographer likes to do a body outline in white chalk. Oh wait, is that the only picture? Oh, yeah, here we go. She's being polite and not showing their faces. Allegra Pellier interviews a ballerina. Okay. Oh, so there are only 2 pictures of drunk salary men? Okay. Well, maybe I'll just do an image search. This one, drunk and exhausted. Someone's Instagram. God, I do find it so weird that they just get wiped out to the point they collapse in the street. That points to some cultural issues, I think. Very, very troubling. But I do want to go there to go to one of the bars where the bartender puts on a real show making the cocktail for you. There's some very cool videos on YouTube. There was one guy on YouTube who totally eye bangs you, just makes way too intimate and extended fucking eye contact, and it's a bit unsettling. I need the windy back streets in Japan are fun when you're drunk. Okay. Yeah, I need to like win lotto and take my offspring who both speak Japanese. They can be my translator. Mm. But again, I think I lined it up to do an advanced screening. I'm always interested in feedback on the edit I've done for the book movie videos. Stuff that probably will never be in the book movie, but will inform what I do on the Ultimate Book Movie. Thank you, Celtic. Nice to see you. I hope you've been having a good time. But yes, particularly because I've done a different style of editing with this one. I'm keen to see what people think. Honey, you got drunk with your travel companion, went to a 7-Eleven looking for a toilet. Poor girl, they had to convince us there's no toilet. Oof, that's probably a nightmare for a 7-Eleven attendee. Drunk foreigners wanting a toilet. Safa, close you've been to Japan is Russia. I had an overnight stop in Japan, and I still regret the fact I didn't. They was kind of saying it was. Hotel was like on the outskirts of Tokyo. Actually, I don't even remember the city. Was it Osaka? Was it Tokyo? I don't remember. Hello, Meta Butterfly. And yeah, we just had to stay in a hotel overnight and get a connecting flight the next day. And they were kind of saying like, oh, you could take this bus into the city to have a look around. And I just thought, I'm just opening the door to things going wrong and missing the connecting flight if I do that. I do quite regret not doing that, but it's with my ex and all her family, and it was just really complicated. I think it happens all the time. Bad tourists, but at least you weren't criminals. Yeah, I think the Japanese may have a particular view of drunk Westerners being abrasive. It's a view that may be backed up by reality. May not be a totally prejudicial viewer. There may be some accuracy in the view. All right, so warming up. Charlie, are you still there, or have you gone off to do something? I'm just thinking of maybe doing the book movie video and then starting the Laserdisc talk. You are there, okay. So, okay, I'm doing this as a warm-up. Put the latest book movie on. Oh yes, Madam Butterfly, you seem to have a great time in Japan. Window, we share sound. Wait, what happened to this? Oh, wait.
G'day, cocktail lovers. It's time once more to bring out the book and add another of my favourite cocktails. This week,
Wait, why won't it show it?
This was invented in 2005 by a London bartender, and obviously I had to try and pronounce his name because I would definitely get it wrong, and that would be embarrassing. This one didn't just
Oh, look, we're doing infinite recursion.
2024. This was my number one.
Okay, this old laptop is...
It's still one of my all-time favourite.
Okay.
Hardly surprising because the
Take 2. What is this doing? Yeah, no. That I knew that wasn't playing, but thank you for telling me. Open with... Oh yeah, I had to do the old Windows Media Player on this laptop, I think.
G'day, cocktail lovers. It's time once more to bring out the...
Okay. God, fuck you, computers. Why do computers give me such a fucking hard time? I swear to God. Now, trying again. Window. Yeah, okay. Ah, look at me remembering how to do it. I had to go on the newer one just fucked up and would not let anything connect to the webcam and microphone because I tried for over an hour. It's incredibly fucking frustrating. Anyway, I think we're good to go. Like Chapel Roan, HOTTOGO. Okay, so tell me in the chat if this isn't working.
G'day, cocktail lovers. It's time once more to bring out the book and add another of my favourite cocktails. This week, I'm adding the chocolate Sazerac. This was invented in 2005 by a London bartender, and honestly, I'm not going to try and pronounce his name because I would definitely get it wrong, and that would be embarrassing for both of us. This one didn't just make my top 10 for the year. In 2024, this was my number one. And it wasn't even close. It's still one of my all-time favourite cocktails, which is hardly surprising because the classic Sazerac has always been one of my favourites for the years prior to discovering the chocolate variation. When I say classic recipe, that can start a bit of conversation. The Sazerac is a very old cocktail, it's an old-fashioned variation. The original version was built around cognac, French brandy. But what happened around about the 1860s, a blight hit the vineyards in France, which almost destroyed their wine production, which definitely made cognac hard to get for like a decade or more. So in the US, they started to switch to rye whiskey as the preferred substitute. Rye stayed the default base of the cocktail even when it became more easy to get cognac again. But people have opinions. Some people say, no, now we can get the brandy. It has to be brandy based for the original cocktail. Some people prefer a whiskey base. Some people prefer to split the base. And in Australia, that is actually one of the more common ways to get it served. It's certainly how I prefer it. Which brings us to the spirit I'm going to use today. This is from local whiskey distiller Starward. They call this Kothman. This does not fit neatly into any traditional spirit family because the base of it is essentially a split between the base you'd build brandy from and the base you'd build whiskey from. It's made by blending freshly crushed Cabernet Sauvignon grape juice, which is essentially the starting point of brandy, and their sour mash, which is the starting point of whiskey. Those are co-fermented and then distilled. And then they were aged for almost 6 years in Australian ex-wine barrels, all of which ends up with a unique spirit, which seems perfectly suited for a Sazerac because it has the essence of both brandy and whiskey in it. Also, this was a very limited release and I don't have much left, So I think tonight's the night to send it off in style. I've made the chocolate Sazerac for my cocktail channel a couple of times, but I've never actually done a side-by-side comparison with a classic recipe. I think I have just enough of this left to make the two and taste them side by side. Incidentally, I have had a run-in on an online forum with someone about the chocolate Sazerac. They're essentially going, you can't do that to a classic. I imagine that's how they talk because that's how they came across in text. And they really wouldn't let it go. They were going on and on. I think the technical term for what they were doing was being a complete dick. Look, come a little closer because I want to share some important words and I want to be calm about it. Don't try to be a gatekeeper. Your tastes are your own, so are everyone else's. And also, what do you mean don't change cocktail recipes? Where do you think new cocktails come from? Also, the Sazerac itself is a modification of an old-fashioned. So what the hell are you talking about? Starting to get a little carried away there, but people who go on like this are either completely ignorant of how cocktails are developed, or they're just an obnoxious jerk arguing in bad faith, or there's some god-awful blend of the two. People who know me might at this point be saying, wait, aren't you always ragging on vodka in cocktails and saying vodka's bullshit? Well, yes. Am I silently judging vodka lovers? Yes. Isn't that hypocritical? Yeah, no, maybe. The point is, I'm judging silently. I'm not going to get up in your face about it. If you say vodka and cranberry juice is a good cocktail, that's up to you. But if you ask for my opinion, you're going to get it. So don't ask questions you don't want to hear the answer to. Back to making the cocktail. The key elements that differentiate a Sazerac from an old-fashioned are absinthe and Peychaud's bitters. In terms of adding the absinthe, there are different ways you can go. Different people have different methods. If you have an atomizer, you might spritz the inside of the glass. That's very popular. You could just add a dash to your overall mix. Some people rinse the inside of the glass and tip the excess absinthe out, which I think is a terrible waste of absinthe. My preferred method is fill your glass with ice, put about 1/4 ounce of absinthe in there and let it sit while you prepare the cocktail. Then when the cocktail's mixed, you strain the absinthe out of that glass. It'll have mixed with at least a little water. Chuck the ice and then pour into the chilled glass. This has the double benefit of giving you an absinthe shot chaser to have after your Sazerac, and also you've chilled the glass, which is quite important because traditionally you do not serve the Sazerac on ice. Speaking of glasses, I'm serving these in a very non-traditional glass. Usually I'd serve a Sazerac in a small rocks glass because without the ice it sits quite low in a glass anyway. It looks a bit mean sometimes, but I'm going with these glasses. Honestly, I should break these out more often. I don't even know if this style of glass has a particular name, but I bought these from a now defunct bar that was one of my favorites here in Melbourne for years. It was called Bar Americano, and etched onto the rim of the glass is a saying I quite like: drink less, drink better. That sums up my attitude to cocktails: quality over quantity. I'm not saying I don't get drunk on cocktails, because I do, but with cocktails I spend more time appreciating each sip, just really getting into the complexity of a good cocktail, as opposed to just knocking back beers or cider. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'm not a drunk, I'm a connoisseur. That's enough preamble. Here's how we make a chocolate Sazerac. In a mixing glass, add 60 ml of the spirit or spirit blend of your choice, then 1/2 ounce or 15 ml of white creme de cacao, then 1/4 ounce or 7.5 ml of sugar syrup, 2 dashes of Peychaud's bitters. Stir that on ice for 20 to 25 seconds to chill and dilute the drink, and then strain that into your absinthe washed glass. I also made a classic Sazerac, as I said, doing a taste comparison. Who doesn't want 2 Sazeracs? That's loser talk if you only want one. So I'm going to refresh my memory with the classic first. I just love the anise flavors you get from the absinthe and the Peychaud's bitters. That's such a good drink. There's a reason people have been drinking it for, I don't know, 150 years or more. But now the chocolate version, the difference is exactly what you expect. It's actually not a profound difference. It's not a radically different cocktail. It's just got a softer, rounder, chocolatey richness in it. It's
okay.
so
All the fun
hard
edits are
to
over
pick
now.
a favourite between the two, which I feel like is an excuse for me to have another sip of each of them. Classic. Very good. And chocolate. I honestly, I can't separate them. They're both fantastic. They are different. You taste the difference in the chocolate one. Honestly, if I did it blind, if I asked for a Sazerac in a bar and they used good quality ingredients and they actually put the white creme de cacao in, I'm not 100% sure I would pick it, which is my way of saying, A, it's a relatively subtle change to the cocktail. B, I don't think I have a really sophisticated palate. I've just got to be totally honest. I also think my sense of smell's not great. So I'm just outing myself there. But the Sazerac, either the classic or the chocolate, they're both fantastic. I love the old-fashioned style cocktails. I love all the boozy stirred cocktails. Let's face it, I just like cocktails. And I get drowned out because look at me, back on my double fisting bullshit. But I do thoroughly recommend you try it at least once. If you like a Sazerac, even if the chocolate version sounds like some sort of blasphemy, give it a go. Just broaden your horizons. You don't have to like it. See, what I was talking about before about this guy being a pain, I don't mind if you try it and you go, no, I actually don't like it. I think it makes it worse. That's fine. That's your taste. But arguing with it as if it's some holy scripture that can't be altered is quite frankly stupid. And anyone who does that should be taking a good hard look at themselves in a mirror, because what the hell is up with them? These are just great drinks. I'm going to enjoy them. Hope you enjoy yourself wherever you are. And until I see you again, I'll say cheers.
Just as that was finishing, I was thinking I should have done a pee break in preparation for doing the laser discs with Charlie. Who must say this? Also, thank you for the feedback. If the music felt too loud, I can really easily re-render it with the music quieter. Thank you. I actually think it's one of my best too. I need to experiment more with style and format. And like you, and you're not the only one, Charlie, but people have been saying like, oh, maybe a second camera. And just when I was scripting that one, it actually lent itself to me like having an aside. And I feel like that could become a good feature of the videos, just having a little aside while I'm talking. You are influencing me more than a bit, in fact. Yeah, but I feel like I could develop that side of going like da 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 da, and it's almost like you're having a confidential aside. Well, blah, 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 blah. That's what I think, anyway. So I think that worked really quite well, and it was relatively easy to do. You know, it was more complicated than other edits I've done, but not painfully so. So yes, I don't desperately have to go pee, but like we normally spend an hour or so talking about the laser discs. So I feel like I should have a pee break before we start. But I sent you the link on the Discord, Charlie. So if you want to share that on as well, we can have the three-way, as they say. All right, so I'm going to leave the chair empty for like 60 seconds while I go pee, and I'll be back and be ready to rock and roll. right. Ugh. Now I'm completely ready. All right. Can hear the urine hitting the water. It's just across the hall. Hey, Charlie.
Hi, I haven't sent my link to Sim incoming on Messenger. Okay.
All right. So I decanted the J Ward from the barrel. Don't know if you were here when I did that, but
oh yeah. I've been here from the moment. Well, almost from the moment you started. There was
Right.
I had to finish a race.
Fair enough.
Priorities, I'm playing.
Yeah.
I'm playing my video games.
Definitely.
All right. There you go. Sim sent over the internet to Sim. And I'm feeling quite judged here because now I'm drinking beer, and after watching your book video,
Yeah.
I must be an alcoholic.
Yeah, no. That's the whole philosophy / joke. Like, no.
And I'm playing along with it. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, it's it is.
Yeah, and I just like to have a beer when I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Keeps me all.
Yeah, keeps you lubricate. I know your. Do you want me to say your name? I know your first name, Madam Butterfly. Oh wait, here's Sim.
Hey, just turning the microphone that Charlie wants me to record.
Oh, shut
up! Hang on, do it all at once. Don't do it yet. We'll do it. Look at you. You've got
I gotta go get my
fluffy
microphone.
pad thing on yours.
Joyce, do you want? Well, we weren't sure because it came with it, and we weren't sure. Murphy thought it was a hat, so.
Wait. Yours came with it?
Yeah.
I didn't get anything like that.
But maybe Tennis wants to try the hat on. Hang on.
Bloody?
Hello, Tennis in a hat.
Ridiculous that I forgot my recorder, but at least I did charge the batteries on Friday night. So
yes, and I've checked my batteries this time as well. I'm not going to let that happen again.
No problem on that.
Battery. This will be interesting. I've not done it this way before, so I've usually just plugged this straight in. So
yeah. So yeah, you just basically, it's just simple as turn it on the side and then make sure you've got it set to 7 on the top.
7.
You don't want to have it on auto adjustment because what that does is it gets really loud when you're quiet, and then when you make your voice a little louder, it just blows the shit out of the mic, So always keep it at 7. I've learned that from Angry Aussies.
Yeah.
I think it says.
I think Angry Aussie has his set on like 3 because it's like a flat line. Hey.
So I think it's recording it in WAV format. Is that what you want, or do you want?
I usually use MP3. WAV's fine. Whatever, like it's. We live in the internet nowadays where, I've got 150 bloody terabytes on my computer. I can handle whatever you throw at me.
Well, if I record it in WAV format, I can always transfer it. When I transfer it to the computer, I can convert it to MP3.
No! Don't you dare! No! Just send it in WAV. That'll be fine. No problem.
Okay. All right. So start recording.
So also now I've just got to adjust the speaker volume here.
Yep.
Okay. So that doesn't interfere with up here. So
I have a headphone on, so it doesn't come out of the speakers at all.
Yeah.
Because that goes straight into the mic again.
Yeah. So are we ready to go?
All right. So press.
I'm pretty ready. Yeah. Hang on. One more sip. So it's Thursday today, and I'm doing another video again. Got Angry Aussie back, kicking and screaming. And today I've got, okay. All right. Yep. Sorry, I'm again kind of free forming it.
Yep, you're just getting your head straight.
Yeah. All right, ready to go?
All right, so press record.
Yep. Press record.
Do we do the clap or do we just start?
I do. See, I do a clap. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, clap.
Okay, so now we've all got the clap, so we can get on.
All right. It's Thursday again, and we're back for another episode of It's a Whole Laserdisc Thing. This is a special episode. Of course, I've got Angry Aussie here.
Sorry, you
And
wanted to say hello. I was just waving.
Well, I sort of, I'm trying to get to that. Like I have this tendency of just going, he's Angry Aussie, moving on. Yeah, no, I like, okay. Should we start again?
Okay, start again. Sure.
We're that close to the start. It's like going in the street and getting your keys. Okay. It's Thursday again. Welcome back for another week of A Whole Laserdisc Thing. Once again, I've got my friend Angry Aussie for the show.
Hello, hello.
And it's a very special episode this week. It's because we are doing music laserdiscs. So I brought along another friend, a music expert. I call her anyway. This is Sim down below.
Hey.
And her friends, we've got Tennis and Surfer Murpha from the Neon Chimp Chat.
Hello, Charlie. Hello, Tennis. No, they've already introduced you. You don't say hello to them. Oh, hello, Angry. Hello, Charlie.
Hello. Yes, so today we're going to have a look, like I said, at some music laserdiscs. It's an eclectic range. It's all over the place. I have no kind of plan or rhyme or reason. If you see the same artist twice, like the same disc come up, just know that that's not a separate listing. That just means it's going to have 2 of each copy, or whatever. All right, let's start off with some Susu Studio.
Yes.
He's someone I associate with like the early days of CDs and Laserdiscs, definitely, because the media appealed to an older audience, as does Phil Collins.
Yes. And this came out around his But Seriously era. So, when he did the 89 stuff,
But my question is, does Susudio mean anything?
I think it was just supposed to be studio, but
he stretched it to
music videos. Yeah.
It was just like a play on the word studio. From memory.
Oh.
It was a long time ago when I know I saw the documentary, but it was a long time ago.
Yeah, what is a Susu Studio? Yeah, good point. I've never thought about that before. I
always thought that it was about it was a love song to Ronnie James Dio's sister, Sue Dio.
It is cutting like crazy. And I'll just have you turn down. There we go. Okay. The next one is Enya's Moon Shadows. I'm quite fond of this. I've got this in my own collection as well. The reason I've got this is because Enya did the soundtrack for the movie LA Story, which is one of my favorite top 5 movies. And the song Exile is like the song that comes from LA Story. The video clip has, bits from LA Story in it, and it's all interconnected and stuff. So, yeah, I really love that connection to this CD, Laserdisc. But it's also got Sail Away, and Storms in Africa. Storms in Africa was the Ansett. Remember Ansett? The
airline?
Airline, yeah.
They used to have that song in their ad. And Caribbean Blue was from the Shepherd Moon album, not Watermark. Most of the stuff's from Watermark, which was a big album.
And I just wanted to say that yes, the LA Story is an amazing film, one of Steve Martin's best.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely.
So I was going to say, Enya apparently, with all the money she made when she had all the hits, retired, bought a castle, hid away from everyone, and just lived with the cats in a castle, which is
I believe that
great
is
life
true.
choices, really.
She
She
made a
plays all
fortune
the
again.
instruments as well.
Didn't she sue Puff Daddy?
She should have. We should all sue Puff Daddy.
Yeah,
Yes,
no.
that's
So
a
Puff
classic
Daddy,
suit.
Puff Daddy made a song that had the same sample from the song "Ready or Not" by the Fugees, and he did his own version of that. And she let the Fugees get away with it, but then sued Puff Daddy for the exact same clip sample because she didn't agree with. Well, Fuji was singing about peace and all about the fear of living in the hood and all that kind of stuff, whereas Puff Daddy was just talking about how big his dick was, so it didn't really vibe with what Enya's all about, All right, next up.
Was this when Puff Daddy was Puff Daddy, or when he was P Diddy, or Little Itty Bitty Diddy, or Dirty Diddy
I
Money,
have no
or
idea. I
one of
never
his
keep up
any
with
other
him.
various
I've never been
aliases?
a big Puff Daddy fan,
Fair
Um,
enough.
Simon and Garfunkel.
yeah, this is the concert in
Classic
Central
concert.
Park.
Was
Classic
a big
concert by a
concert.
great band.
It's
Although,
funny that
don't ask
look
your
at that.
previous guest about them. He did say that, I think Tim Ferguson's not a fan, according to something he said on Das Kapital.
of Paul Simon.
Well, I think it was there's an episode where there's like you just saw Simon and Garfunkel shit band.
Well, anyone with a punk mentality is going to say Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah, so it was probably more that sort of.
They
were more
are
religious,
kind
I
of the
think.
opposite of punk, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. They're very conservative. I noticed so far the Laserdiscs are skewing old. Nothing wrong with being old.
No. The first section of these are from that David. I've forgotten his name. The head from Channel 7 that I was telling
Oh
you about.
yes,
that
the big haul you
yeah.
got. Yeah.
A lot of them from him. Yeah. Another one in Central Park.
Elton John.
Elton John.
Sorry,
That'd
I
be a
could just
great
make
show.
jokes about what Elton John was actually doing in Central Park as opposed to having a concert. But although that
I
was
think it
George
was more
Michael
George
more than
Michael.
Elton John. Yeah.
Well, it's lucky Charlie Kirk didn't do Central Park. Sorry.
Non sequitur, but anyway.
Everybody's favorite blood fountain.
Bit of Babs.
Babs.
Oh, did you ever see the Kenny Everett sketch with her? Well, it wasn't her. It was Kenny Everett dressed as her.
I
Can't say I
can't
did.
remember it.
It's like, so he's dressed as Barbara Streisand, and he's got a big fake nose on, but then he turns around and the nose is bigger, and every time it ends up, it's just a
Yeah.
massive nose.
Did the same joke with Barry Manilow, I think.
Yeah, actually, I've
Yes.
seen that joke done 30 times. It's sort of
Yeah.
like the go-to joke when it comes to Barbara because the whole Jewish nose thing. Yeah.
I think it's more because a lot of other sort of celebrities of that era, they did get nose jobs and things like that, whereas she didn't because she thought they would affect the voice too much.
Yeah. Full credit to her not bowing to pressure because she probably would have been pressured.
Yep. My first job working at a bartender was at the Barbra Streisand concert, which was the very first concert at Telstra Dome, or back then it was called Colonial Stadium. Now it's called Marvel Stadium or something. The Docklands Center I'm
The
talking about.
sponsor
Yeah.
keeps changing. Yeah.
I
And
remember
the
there was a big
sound
controversy about that show
shocking
at the time.
because the sound was like, okay, concerts since then have been amazing, but poor Barbra Streisand was like test case number one. I think actually Madonna might have been the first one, but Barbra Streisand was maybe the second or third. And
They hadn't
What
worked it out.
happened was it was like, you know, when you go to like a show, like, you know, a fair, and they have someone announcing come over to and come and check out the you know, whatever, and then you can hear it in the speaker further down, and then you can hear it in the speaker further down, and it's a bit more delayed, and then you can hear it across the river, the same thing, and it's really delayed. That's what it was like at the Barbra Streisand. She was like singing, but then there was this second audio track that was playing on the delay. Oh,
Yeah.
That would have shut her up the wall, because I know if I heard it, she would have heard it, you know?
Yeah.
And she's like a notorious like perfectionist and all that as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It simply wasn't the best.
No.
good segue. Good segue.
Segue.
I like it.
So, yeah, this is her greatest hits collection of music videos. And when they didn't have music videos, they used the live concerts.
Yeah.
So does that cover
Yeah.
all like right back from the Ike and Tina days, or just from her solo career?
It looks like just her solo career.
Okay, that covers most of it anyway.
Yeah.
And also it
80s
means that Ike doesn't get the royalties, which is always a good thing.
Yes, good point.
Yep. Notorious
Terrible man.
piece of shit.
Very talented. He was certainly he was ahead of his time as far as rock and roll goes. He arguably was one of the forefathers thereof. But yes, terrible man.
Mm. So, yeah, Tina Turner. And a bit more Tina Turner.
Wow.
Oh, that's the
bit
Bowie
more
one. The one where the Bowie comes out.
Yes, this is the one where Bowie and someone else that we don't talk about.
Who?
Ooh. My alarm is going off. What's going on?
Yeah, so
Bryan Adams.
Murphy
Okay, so
here
for
had
those
an
who don't
affair
know,
with Bryan Adams back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
1990 it was, during a tour in London, and yes, he rocked my world and never called me again, the bastard. But
Yeah.
I hold out hope that one day we shall be reunited, and yes, Furphy, that's enough.
As soon as you said someone we don't talk about, I said, "What did she do? A song with Gary Glitter? What are we doing here?"
No, we can't talk about Bryan Adams because it triggers Furphy. And,
You said it again. Yes, Bryan Adams.
He said it.
yeah, no, really
Yeah,
great
enough.
track list on this. It's got her version of Help, which is the John Farnham version.
Oh, she did a slow version like John Farnham.
Yeah.
Everybody who covers that song, unless it's a punk band, they always seem to go for the slow version.
Yeah. John Farnham's version, shit. Honestly.
Yeah,
It's-
I never liked it.
Everyone hates it. I adore it. I thought it was lovely. But yeah, I get it. Okay. Big
just- I think
thank you to the Frank Sinatra fans out there.
Ah.
All 6 of you. Okay, so we have the box set, which includes stuff and
Start
things.
spreading the news.
No, seriously, it has his life story.
Tennis, it's not singing time.
So
It's
it
not
looks
singing
like
on the tennis.
of some kind. Yeah, the authorized movie biography.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So I've never heard of it. But yeah, so there's Frank
The Sinatra
Sinatra's
fans.
kind of doco. And then to go with that, we've also got, well, that's not meant to go with it, sorry. Okay. We've also got the Frank Sinatra Reprise Collection, Volume 1 and Volume 2.
Uh-huh.
So you get the whole Frank Sinatra kit and caboodle, and I'm probably going to have it just for $10 because it's a lot of
Frank Sinatra.
and there's not many Frank Sinatra fans out there, and
Oh,
if
there's
you
gotta
are,
be.
you're going to get the steal of a lifetime.
I
Yeah.
don't think he does
I
have
mean-
he still has a big following, but it's an older crowd now.
Another not great person by all accounts,
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra. Great performer though.
Also, they made a really good biopic about him. This is like, I don't think it's ever had a proper release. It's like that one they did about the Carpenters. And it was like a made-for-TV thing. And he said like it got a big TV debut, and then you never saw it again.
Wait, the Carpenters, you mean the one that was done with the Barbie dolls?
No, the proper one.
Oh, okay.
I think they
The guy from
both
Goodfellas played Frank.
I can't remember, but it was like a made-for-TV movie, and it sort of covered. It might have even been a mini-series. I just remember.
I'm blanking on his name. Who's the lead in Goodfellas?
Was it Ray Liotta in Goodfellas?
Yeah, Ray Liotta. Ray Liotta.
Oh, you're talking about the Brat Pack movie. That was good. Yeah, I like that Brat Pack movie.
I'm not sure. I've got a vague recollection. It came out when I was still in primary school. So.
No, Ray Liotta played Frank, and his one started with Frank's the last of the Rat Pack still alive, and he's like the thing was going, I miss my friend. So it's like him in Vegas in his later years, and then does a retrospective of his life.
Might have been. I just remember it showing him, growing up and all of that.
Not the Brat
Maybe not
Pack.
growing up, like when he first got his first record or something like that.
I said the Brat Pack. There was that one, and what was the other Frank Sinatra one? The Australian movie where Frank Sinatra came to Australia.
Yeah, Dennis Hopper played Frank Sinatra in that.
Yeah.
Where Frank Sinatra insulted a woman journalist, and all the journalists went, screw you, we're blackballing your tour, no coverage. It's like a picket line. And all the other unions went, well, we're not going against the union. So he couldn't put on any of his shows because all the workers that were required for the show were all union, and he was blackballed. And Bob Hawke had to go in and talk Frank Sinatra into apologizing.
Right.
Hell of a thing.
Mm. Yeah, because back then Bob Hawke was just like the head of the union, wasn't he?
He was the head of the TU at the time. Yeah.
Mm. This was back in the 70s, yeah. Okay, next up, this one's called Golden Big Hits. This is a Beat Club disc.
Yes,
Beat
the German
Club.
show, Beat Club.
Yeah, Beat Club was sort of like a German countdown.
Oh.
Yes, it was. So it started as Beat 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 in the early 60s. Then it became Beat Club. Then in the 70s, it morphed into Music Laden. And one thing I always liked about that show was that it had very ahead of its time special effects. Especially once it became Beat Club, they were actually doing lots of what we call chroma key effects.
Yeah.
Or things like green screen type of stuff, but it was still in black and white. You've probably seen some of the clips on Rage and on YouTube and things like that. But yeah, it was a very interesting visually. And once it got to the late 60s, they actually had a lot of the bands playing live, and in some cases, that's the only footage of them performing in that particular era or on that particular tour. Or yeah.
Yeah, a lot of bands didn't bring out music videos because there wasn't a demand for them back in the 60s and 70s. Yeah. So if you want to watch Rage and request old songs from the 60s and stuff, you usually request stuff from Countdown or that Beat Club show or stuff like that instead. Or what's the British one?
Top of the Pops.
Yeah.
They also had Old Grey Whistle Test, which was a bit later.
Right. Yes. I've got a clip on my computer of George Benson, and he's on the Old Grey Whistle Test, and it's very disco.
On DVD somewhere. But yeah.
All right. Next disc.
MJ.
This was his 1992 Dangerous album. He brought out a bunch of video clips for this that were events. By that point, people were gathering around the TV at a certain time and watching it.
They were basically short movies, and they were often directed by John Landis and Steven Spielberg types.
Yeah, John Landis did black and white. Remember the Time was directed by the guy who did Boys in the Hood. John something or other. I forgot. Yeah. But then you've got his lesser known songs like, Jam had Michael Jordan in it. That was a
That's
big
right.
hit.
Yeah.
But then you got, like I said, some of the Give In to Me had Slash. It was him and Slash, and there was like his guitar solos created lightning, and there was lightning all around the stadium and stuff like that. It's a cool little music. It's like a lot of money went into making this, and
Yeah.
it shows. It's all on film, as they say.
No, he spent a fortune on those videos.
Yeah. Because he knew they worked by that point. He had a bit of a name.
Well, sort of starting with Thriller, then he was kind of known as the guy that did the biggest, most expensive, most lavish, over the top videos, and so I think that was kind of the era where he got to the peak of it. It's like he could never really top what he'd gotten to there, and after that, it was sort of diminishing returns after that. But
he tried hard
really
on the greatest hits era when he did the History album, and that giant statue that he would ship from country to country that was in parts and would get formed up right where his stage was. It was the size of the same size as the Statue of Liberty.
All right.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Certainly, went the extra mile as an entertainer.
I remember what stood out the most was it was all brought down. In my opinion, it was really funny. At the MTV Music Awards, when you've got a guy called Jarvis Cocker.
Was that the MTV Music Awards? I thought that was in England.
It was. It was the MTV Music Awards in England. Yes, I think it was. Okay. If it's not the MTV Music Awards, may you please leave a comment below and correct me. But
could be wrong.
Michael Jackson's doing this whole, save the children, and the children are most important to us, and they're the future, and all that kind of stuff. And it has like a line of kids coming up to him and cuddling him and then walking away. And Jarvis Cocker's like, this is a bit on the nose, So he gets up,
especially the height of that whole allegations and all that.
Michael Jackson, and does this with his ass. And he goes, afterwards, they ask him, what was all that about? And he goes, I just got sick of him sniffing his own farts, and I thought he'd like to sniff one of mine.
Sorry.
It was just like, dude, that's 1 second. And the fact it was another artist as well, not just some random idiot,
Yeah.
Okay. We've gone on about that enough. Let's move on to Neil Sedaka.
Oh, legend. That guy wrote so many classic songs.
Move on to the next disc, because there's not much to say about that. We've got Paul Simon.
Second Paul Simon appearance.
Yeah, so this is solo. So he's dumped that Garfunkel, lead.
Garfunkel could never make it on his own, could he? As Paul Simon
he had Bright Eyes, and that was about it.
He tried in acting. He did acting.
Yes, he was an actor as well, yeah.
But the 70s were very good to Paul Simon. He had some great hits during that era.
And I think that because he had that friendship with Lorne Michaels, the Saturday Night Live guy. So he was on Saturday Night Live every other week, pretty much.
Right,
so
yeah.
He's getting, at least in America, he's getting a huge promotion every week, pretty much. And he comes out.
He from New York too, so it was like if the music guest cancelled, he was like the first person Lorne would ring and say, "Can you get over here by 6?" And it's like, "Yeah, sure, no worries,"
Yeah, and, he did a duet with a couple of various different people, and the most famous ones with George Harrison, but he did a few with various other people as well. Just over the years, because again, like you say, you could just call him and he'd show up.
So what's this?
No idea.
It's a Broadway show.
Past recording of Company.
Yep, starring Dean Jones.
Dean Jones. The D.A. Pennebaker. He's the same filmmaker that did the Ziggy Stardust Farewell Show and the Monterey Pop Festival show, the film, and what was the other one? Gimme Shelter.
Okay,
he's
so
made
he
a lot
knows
of
music.
music
Okay.
related films.
So, yeah, Dean Jones was the main actor in the Love Bug movie.
All right.
The Disney guy.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? Had that really deep voice that was very
He
good
did a
for
bunch of
filming
Disney
and
stuff in the
recording.
60s and 70s.
Yeah, Dean Jones, isn't that him? That's the guy I'm
I
thinking
don't
of.
know. You're saying it.
You're the one telling the story.
All right. If I'm wrong, this will be edited out and it'll be fine. No problem. We got a bit of Bob Dylan unplugged.
Bob Dylan unplugged. Well, he was the thing was like with that show. It was a lot of the time it was artists you didn't usually see unplugged, but Bob Dylan's thing was kind of him with an acoustic guitar, unless he was doing his electric thing, which was only
Yeah.
occasionally. I will say that
the central thing of
rest
that
of
recent movie, A Complete Unknown, built up to the bit where Dylan went electric and alienated all the folk people.
yeah,
So
That
he
was a
would have
good
brought the folk people back for this one then.
Yeah.
well, the thing is, he'd already gone back to folk, and he'd gone. So after he went electric, he had a motorcycle accident, and so he was kind of like semi-retired for a few years, and then he came back, and that's when he started doing his Christian music. And so he brought out the 3 Christian music albums that kind of alienated fans even more.
Yeah.
But then he started to come back in the late 80s, and then there was the Traveling Wilburys and various things after that. But but that was so. The one thing that I know about that show with the unplugged one though is I think that there was after Guns N' Roses had done their version of Knocking on Heaven's Door, and so it was kind of Bob Dylan doing his version of their version of his song, but acoustic. And it's just sort of he gets to this bit towards the end where he's trying to sort of go into Axl's range and he's like, knock it on heaven's door.
I've never been a Dylan fan. I can acknowledge his songwriting skill, but just as a performer with him, I'm gonna sing song now. I'm gonna sing more. Like Jesus Christ, dude! Let someone else sing the songs.
I find those albums, they're very hit and miss. There's some that I absolutely love, Highway 61, most of Blonde on Blonde. Although Blonde on Blonde kind of feels a bit like the songs. It's got some amazing songs on it, but the rest of it feels like stuff that wasn't good enough to go on Highway 61.
Double album?
It is, yeah.
On the double album, yeah.
It was, yeah. Those are the
Highway
electric
61 Revisited. That's my favorite album by him. Yeah, that's the one that if I was to pick one album, yeah.
He did a really good one in the 90s as well, but I can't think of. Maybe it was called Time Out of Mind, something like that. It was more of a blues kind of thing.
So did Bob Dylan do the whole yow, 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 yow?
I don't remember he did that bit, but he was still trying. He was definitely sort of inspired by their version, or perhaps taking the piss, because you're never sure with Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
There's a song on the Traveling Wilburys' first album, Tweeter and the Monkey Man, which has got all of these references to New Jersey. And apparently that is just to take the piss out of Bruce Springsteen.
As soon as you said New Jersey, I thought that's what was happening. Yeah.
Yeah, him was just like an in-joke between him and Tom Petty, because they both had, they were friends with Bruce Springsteen and they liked Bruce Springsteen. But I think that there was just some kind of animosity there at some point. And it was kind of a friendly thing as well, I think. But yeah. So the whole thing was just they were taking the piss out of Bruce for talking about New Jersey all the time.
All right, let's get on to the next disc. Yeah, Jesus Christ, Fanny Bryce. Neil
There's
Diamond.
There's a movie that just came out about him too. Well, not actually him, but it's his music.
Does he do good Lord?
Yeah, that's the song I'm singing. The intro to what was that song? What was that album that he did? Hot August Night.
Hot August Night.
Yeah. That was in every Australian's parents' cupboards.
I remember there was Tony Martin from the D Generation.
Was on. What I was thinking of.
Yeah, and he was on the D-Generation Late Show the night next after Neil Diamond had played here, and he was all excited for that "Good Lord" bit, and he gets there, and Neil Diamond just goes, "Ugh." It's like, but I didn't pay to hear. I paid to hear "Good Lord."
It's like because Neil Diamond had got sick of the cliche of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is just a collection of his kind of greatest hits. Got Cracklin' Rosie, Sing Song Blue, Beautiful Noise, Play Me, Sweet Caroline, Cherry Cherry, all that kind of stuff. But when he's young and fit and in the 70s and doing these things, if that's your thing, that will probably be $5. So, all right, now we've got a bundle. 2 Streislands for the price of half a Streisand.
Specials. Okay.
Those are fun covers.
Yeah, I'll be honest. So this was a TV show that she did. She did these specials this is both in 1 year. She did these. My Name is Barbara and Color Me Barbara. And basically she gets up and gotta admit, she knocked out like half of America with these specials. These were massive at the time. She had just done Gypsy and was that the movie she did, The Way We Were? And, it was really getting into, the minds and hearts of American audiences and stuff like that. Yeah. And then banged out these 2 specials on top of that. And it was like, okay, we get it.
Yeah. It's like, I'm not going to sit down and listen to Barbara Streisand music, but I'll fully acknowledge the quality of performer she is.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I actually have the Barbra Streisand Guilty album, the one that was written by Barry Gibb.
Yes.
Oh, right. Yeah, because she's done a few collaborations and things like that over the years.
And that has the famous Woman in Love song on it.
All right. That's right, because it's got Barry on backing vocals.
Yeah, doing the... It's like last week when Gene Hackman grabbed that dude by the nuts. That was Barry Gibb in the studio. All right, next disc. We have another Elton John.
More Elton.
Yeah, we've got a bit of Elton here tonight. Yeah.
That's probably going to be a longer show because that's 92. So they're probably looking at more getting into this. We've got more hits to get through and.
Yep. This is 100. Yeah. This is full both sides. Yeah, because you're right. Because the Central Park one was only 1 hour, one single sided of a disc.
Yeah.
Whereas this is both sides of the disc, and they use up every single second of it.
Yeah. I think that
by this stage, he's got 3 phases of his career he can build into.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, this was sort of the 3rd phase, I would say, the end of the...
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And that's kind of like, he didn't have any big hits after the 90s, but he could go his 60s stuff, his 70s stuff, and his 80s stuff. They were all distinct phases of his career.
He had a sort of comeback like late 90s, early 2000s. I can't remember when it was exactly, but he had there was a video with Robert Downey Jr., I think Elton had decided at that point he was too old to do his own videos, and so he got Robert Downey Jr.
He did do some animated movie soundtracks that were very successful.
The Lion King. Yep. And of course, his biggest hit of his whole career was when Princess Diana passed away, and he brought out the remake.
Redid Candle in the Wind.
Yeah, Candle in the Wind, didn't he? He made it especially for her, changed the lyrics and stuff.
Yeah, I remember. I think they said it was the first time he'd ever used a teleprompter because he was so scared that he would get up there and sing the wrong lyrics. Because he'd been singing at the Goodbye Norma Jean for 30 years or whatever at that point. He was just that scared of like messing it up, and he's like, "Oh, there goes the knighthood."
Also, I'm going to throw in animated movies. Lion King's the most famous. I think his soundtrack for The Road to El Dorado is better.
Okay.
It's a Warner Brothers animation,
Yeah, I know the one. Yeah.
And it's who is it? Kenneth Branagh and
It's DreamWorks.
okay, DreamWorks, but it wasn't Disney. Was my point.
No, yeah.
Kevin Kline and Kenneth Branagh are the male leads in that. I think that's a better soundtrack than The Lion King.
Okay.
I just love throwing out hot takes occasionally.
Fair enough.
And we
It's right, because
appreciate
you also, because you hear it less. You hear songs from The Lion King a bit more, and so you get sick of them after a while. So it feels a bit more fresh when you go to the one that's less known. And sometimes the lesser known thing is better, and people just don't know about it as much.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be a hip, saying the one less people know is better.
Wow. Okay. So Tim Rice who also worked with Elton John on El Dorado, made Lion King, Aladdin, Chess, Vita, Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah, he was basically Andrew Lloyd Webber's.
He used to work with Andrew Lloyd Webber. Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's where he started. Him and Andrew Lloyd Webber.
In the 70s with Jesus Christ Superstar. Yeah.
There you go. And he's still kicking. Anyway, so let's move on to the next disc, okay?
Yes.
Oh no.
So far, so good. Yeah.
Oh no. You've triggered.
Brian, come back to your fluffy. You know you want to. For you know what we had was special. Oh yes.
Yeah, he can't stop this thing they've started.
He took one of my love letters and turned it into a song.
But even on Laserdisc, okay, do you know that you can't get when you load up Everything I Do It For You on YouTube? Not that you guys ever would, but if you did, you're not going to see the original music video that you saw on Rage back in 1992.
Okay.
They've lost the license for Robin Hood, Men and Thieves.
That's right. That's what it was in, yeah.
And so they've redone the video clip to include scenes that are from this concert, which is the concert he was doing at the time around about when he was promoting that song.
Yeah.
And
Brian's gone now.
Okay. And Everything I Do It For You anecdote. One time I saw Billy Bragg back in the 90s, between songs he's making jokes, he's going, that Bryan Adams song, Everything I Do It For You. Do you think everything he does is for everything? Like, he'd be a real pain as a housemate. Like, he makes a cup of coffee and just goes, I did it for you, And then he pulls you into the toilet at one point and goes, I did it for you,
Points at his shit.
It's just weird. If everything he does it for you, it gets a bit weird.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've broken Charlie. Come on, compose yourself, son. Compose. He's walking off. He's got to go and compose himself.
For that one night, everything he did was for Furphy. Oh, yes.
Yeah, everything he did cracked me up. Yeah. All right, moving on. We got the next disc. Thank you, Furphy.
Yes, no more Bryan Adams, I don't think. Did someone mention, I just mentioned him to say we're not mentioning him again?
Yeah. Okay.
So this one is Hall & Oates' 7 Big Ones. And the 7 big ones, we got Family Man, Maneater, Private Eyes, Adult Education, I Can't Go For That, One-on-One, and Say It Isn't So.
Those are 7 big ones.
They were big, but okay. So I'm not sure. I haven't seen this yet. I haven't even. This is from David Aspinall, so I don't even know if it's like concert or if it's
probably the music videos.
Yeah, they did some good music videos. Remember that one with the giant drum? Yeah,
I don't remember that one, but yeah, I know they did some good videos.
Okay,
and
next
Daryl
one.
Hall has a YouTube show now, I think.
We've got some Electric Light
Orchestra.
A great band from Birmingham.
Speaking of, what was that band before you said?
Yes, we mentioned the Traveling Wilburys earlier, yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm more into. I didn't really get into the Out of the Blue album, but this does have Mr. Blue Sky on it from Guardians of the Galaxy,
Oh, okay.
number two. But
And it was also,
much more
I think it was also
entertaining.
in an episode of American Dad. I think it's been in Doctor Who, and it's been used in a bunch of shows.
What, Mr. Blue Sky was in lots of other things.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so what other
It made me
songs?
think of it because Sonny's phone went off and it makes the sound of the TARDIS.
Living Thing. Yeah, so this was an 80s concert, even though it says Out of the Blue, which came out in the 70s.
Okay, so it's not for. I mean, Out of the Blue was 79, I think. So
Yeah.
The big hits were 75 to 80, yeah.
And now, anytime you want to look up Electric Light Orchestra on Spotify or YouTube or anything, it's always called Jeff Lynne's Electric Light Orchestra.
Yeah, so there was a whole sort of thing between the two different sides of the band. Because even though it was his band, he wrote all the songs, he produced it. The other members of the band had a band for a while called Electric Light Orchestra 2. And they
Yeah,
were
that's
two.
what was waiting to happen. Yeah.
And so they were sort of doing that, and then Jeff wanted to go back to being Electric Light Orchestra. And I think he had the original drummer back. But other than that, it was just him and a bunch of session musicians, and they were calling it Electric Light Orchestra.
This is why I got Sim onto the show.
The facts.
Just pulling out facts out of her ass.
Okay. I feel like this is the first contemporary one. Love this.
The first one, Angry's like, I like this one.
Everything else was for people even I think are old.
So this is them live at the Paramount. And they're touring The Raw and the Cooked at the time.
Okay.
I actually snuck a listen to this before I came on the show before. And yeah, it's got a great version of a live version of She Drives Me Crazy that just gave me goosebumps. Yeah.
There's actually
This is the first hip one. It's from the 80s. It's from 40 years ago. And I'm going, whoa, this feels like something slightly more.
There's actually a sneaky sort of in-joke with them, because in the movie Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, they have a Fine Young Cannibals poster in the background. And of course, the film is about cannibals.
Oh, nice. There you go. I remember they were in a movie called Wise Guys, I think it was. Yeah, with Bob Hoskins.
That would make sense.
Yeah,
I could see them in a Bob Hoskins movie.
And he walks in and goes, "Oh, what a great band!" And really rubs it in, like.
Right.
Okay.
Oh,
we had the Jenner brother earlier. So Janet Jackson.
This is 1989. Now, be aware if you have an old computer. Okay, do not put this on if you have a computer that came out. Like a lot of lasers collectors collect old shit. And some of us have old XT computers or 286s and stuff like that. The rhythmic tones of Rhythm Nation can destroy a hard drive from a computer that came out before 1992. They changed it afterwards, but it was a big problem between the time when this album came out and them changing it, where you would have all these people losing all their work.
So what was it? Was it just too much bass in it, or?
I kid you not. It's all about the rhythmic tones in this of just that song, Rhythm Nation. Not the whole album, it's just that song.
Is it like that sort of they did on Mythbusters, the break step bridge, where if you walked in the right way, it would make the whole bridge collapse or something like that?
Yes, that's exactly kind of how it works.
Okay.
Yeah. So this one has some other songs on it. We got Black Cat. We got Miss You
That's good.
Much. And then you have literally about 40 minutes of Rhythm Nation and how they made it, and right down to what shoelaces they put into their boots, and stuff like that. It is.
Does that still have the original price sticker on it as well?
What's that?
Does that still have the original price sticker on the front?
The original what sticker?
The price
Price.
sticker, yeah, from when they sold it
Yep,
in a shop. 1,280 yen.
280 yen, or $12.80 in our equivalent, money.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I'm really good at translating because it's just moving the decimal point.
Oh, right.
And I used to buy a lot of when I first opened the shop, I was like, I've got to get all these cheap Laserdiscs from Japan. And then I started noticing there's another Laserdisc shop in Australia, which we don't talk about, and they sell Japanese discs, just Japanese discs. So I was like, I need to find a way to separate myself. And so that's why, as you notice, when I bring on the movies, they're always American. I don't buy any stuff from Japan anymore. It's just it tends to be the same shit, over and over and over again. Anyway, moving. Although having said that, we've been having that problem with the show as well. When you get the same, I think we had Lethal Weapon now like 3 times. Okay, here we go. Next
there's
one.
a box still here to send to you as well. So there's still some
Oh,
stuff
really?
here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
When we find more of them, we'll fill it up before we send it off.
Okay, because there's one box that's ready to go.
Sorry, what was that?
There's one box that's sealed up and ready to go. So whenever you...
I thought it was already, it wasn't quite full yet.
There's one that's full, and then there's another one that I think is halfway.
Ah, okay. Well, maybe I'll talk to you later about the full one. I completely forgot about that.
Okay.
All right. Next disc is the Moody Blues live at Red Rocks with the Colorado Symphony Orchestra.
Quite a lot of music from Birmingham tonight. Hello to our friends at the West Midlands.
We just need was Black Sabbath from Birmingham?
They were, yes.
Yeah.
And Judas Priest.
Yeah, so it has all the hits that you want from Moody Blues, which is Nights in White Satin, and it's also got Nights in White Satin. And I think it's got Nights in White Satin. Yep, it's got Nights in White Satin.
Does it have Go Now? That was their first hit.
I'm only most people only know one song by them.
Does it have Go
My
Now?
favorite Moody Blues is their Simpsons appearance, but
Yeah, when they were in Vegas.
Yes.
Yeah, doing what they were doing the opening poem to Nights in White Satin, but changing it to Homer and Ned. Yeah.
Their first hit was Go Now, which was when Penny Lane was still in the band.
In the 80s, they kind of caught on to the whole Pink Floyd vibe, and they did I Know You're Out There Somewhere, Your Wildest Dreams, Isn't Life Strange, The Other Side of Life, stuff like that. So that's all on here as well. So it's a full loaded set. If that's what you're into. All right, we got some more Neil in doubles. Oh, we got one with the look at that, different versions.
Oh, different releases with the same picture there.
See
Okay.
this one doesn't have. Oh no, sorry, this one doesn't have the disc, the music disc thing.
Oh.
So I've been looking. My Ninja Turtles has this disc in the background as well, and I've been looking for a Ninja Turtles that's just this black border one that you can get supposedly, but I haven't found it yet. Totally off topic. This is the greatest hits, but it's also live. It's pretty much the same stuff that we saw on the Greek album that was earlier on in the show, but this one is him at a ripe old age of 40, with a whole bunch of grandmothers in the audience.
That might be the tour that Tony Martin went to.
Right? Yeah, actually, probably would have been. Yeah. Yep, exactly the same track listing. Even has the bonus track on each of them too. So, yeah, there's a bit of Neil Diamond love for you. I always think of you ever seen that show Big Bang Theory?
Yes.
Aye.
Right, there's an episode where Howard and Sheldon's girlfriend, I've forgotten her name,
Amy and Bernadette.
Amy, yeah. Bernadette was Howard's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Amy and Howard were stuck in the car driving to Comic Con or whatever it was, and they were trying to find music, and they were looking through the iPod going, no. Oh, what about Neil Diamond? And they're like, oh, I guess so. If you've got to, like whatever. And then cuts to like them 2 seconds later, and they're fully bopping away to America and stuff. It's always very funny. I've always found it funny. In the meantime, we've got some Nirvana.
Wow.
This
That's
Somebody
live
say
one.
banana?
No, not Banana. Nirvana. This is where I reached the other day when I was playing the Ninja Turtles arcade while listening to Iron Maiden.
You made the same joke on my video about the Foo Fighters.
And yeah, so this is a live show. Not much more to say, It's not your unplugged. It's a full blown normal concert. Someone was smart enough to switch on a movie camera while they were performing, because you don't have many live Nirvana shows.
No.
All right, next
There's
up,
a few, but not too many. Robert Palmer.
Robert Palmer, Supernova. This was when he was touring. This is the promotional disc that came out between for Simply Irresistible.
Oh, yeah.
So this is music videos, is it?
Yes, these are the whole album has music videos.
A few people have done that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was a thing during the late 80s, early 90s when people would bring out a whole tape or a whole laserdisc of every song from the album had a music video. On Mike and the Mechanics, they joined together.
All right.
For a
which was
story.
really cool. Yeah, and it told an overall arc. There wasn't really a story, but they joined together in one way or another,
I think that Wings kind of did it, but theirs didn't really tell any kind of story. You could kind of almost piece one together if you wanted to or had too much time on your hands. But they did kind of almost with Back to the Egg in 1979.
Yep.
And also I think ELO, if they didn't do videos for every song on Discovery, they did certainly a lot of them, because I know there was a video album for that as well. So they might be the early
that stupid
version.
Broad Street movie that he did with Brian Brown.
Well, that was a few years later. That was
Yeah.
but that was more of a movie, whereas what Murphy was talking about was basically a movie, an album length music video kind of thing. And so it's like they play it's like them miming to every song on the album, but in different backgrounds. And there's a bit of them in a car, and they've got to get with that car to get to the next song and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's basically the storyline everyone talks about of Band on the Run when they were had the recording tape stolen.
Well, that's the movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was still
wait,
talking
was there
about
something else
Back to the Eggs. I'm finding out the Eggs. I've got it on.
Yeah, all right, yeah. So
Another one we covered on Murphy's Music Reviews.
check it out in the link below. All right, Angry, what are you looking up?
Sorry, it just made me think of something, and I went to look it up, and I couldn't find it. So it was very obvious I was looking something up.
What were you looking up?
Okay, I was looking at Australian Act Weddings, Parties, Anything. I was sure they did a thing with a clip for every song on the album, for their album Scorn of the Women. But I couldn't find it.
Yep. They're the guys that did Happy Birthday, Helen.
No, I think that
No.
No, they did.
No, weddings,
Yeah,
parties,
Father's
anything.
Oh,
had a
Father's
Throgsitch
Day.
folky thing. Sorry?
Every Saturday is Father's Day.
Yeah, Father's Day, Away
Yeah.
Away, Monday's Experts. But yeah, their first album was called Scorn of the Women, which came out when I was at uni, and I really liked it. I've got it on vinyl, but yeah.
I might have to get that and pick it up. It looks interesting.
The one you were thinking of, Charlie, was Things of Stone and Wood.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or again on the D generation, they did a parody of it because we just ran out of Melbourne cliches.
Yes, because
Right,
that song
yeah,
Happy
yeah.
Birthday, Helen kept referencing stuff around
Yeah.
Melbourne. And so they just took it to the nth degree. Then we went down to Captain Cook's cottage.
Yeah. And now we're back on the tram again. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay, next up we have Roxette Crash Boom Live. This is Roxette
Wow,
live
okay.
in Johannesburg.
Na 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 na
someone
na
has-
na 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 na
You got the
na na
look.
na 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 na. She's got the look. Sorry, I had to do it.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Someone's got this listed at $200 on LDDB.
Wow.
I
I'd
don't-
say that it's quite rare, I'd imagine.
Yeah, but who wants to spend $200 on Roxette?
They have some
That's
pretty hardcore
pretty
fans
surreal,
out there.
honestly.
I mean, you have to be one hell of a Roxette fan.
Yeah.
I think they were bigger
yeah.
over in other countries as well. Like I think that they had more. So we sort of think of them in Australia as The Look and Joyride and
Yeah.
a couple of other songs around that era.
Oh,
I
the
think they
Big
did-
L, Dress for Success.
Yeah, they did all of that
Listen
stuff.
to Your Fart, you know.
They did the Super Mario Brothers movie. They had a song for that as well.
All right, yeah.
So they were
What was
quite
Bob Hoskins?
yeah. So
Yep.
they had but I think they had quite a bigger following in Europe than they did here. Because I know that they had like
Yeah,
a greatest hits
definitely.
compilation that came out in the 2000s or something like that, and it's got all these songs and the chart positions written next to it. Maybe it didn't have chart positions. I just know that it looked like it's like often with those sorts of things they kind of fudge it a bit and sort of. But I'm pretty sure that like maybe in their hometown, home country, or other parts of Europe, they sold a lot more albums and singles than they did here. They sort of had that moment in the sun.
The chick in this band was an extremely charismatic performer. You know, even in the video clips or in live shows and stuff like that, she always had a commanding performance. You know.
Well, that's how you get to be lead singer, be a really good performer.
That's generally how it works.
They were doing great, and then of course Nirvana came along, and people just went, "No, I don't want to listen to Roxette anymore."
Well, they were sort of, I mean, because if you think about it, Roxette were kind of what rock was in the late 80s, early 90s.
Oh, it
And
was
then
pop.
Nirvana comes along, and that's
Around
like,
the bush, it was pop.
I-
you know.
it's pop rock. Right? Because I mean, they actually were playing their own. It wasn't like I'm trying to think of the Spice Girls or whatever, where they were just singing along to a backing track. They actually were musicians and
Yeah.
did write their own songs. And,
No, back in the early 90s, we had Teen Queens. Do you remember them? They would sing remade versions of old 60s songs like Be My Baby.
that'd be like
had-
kids bop now.
And then we had Girlfriend, which was, they were quite big in it. They were an Australian band that was all
Yeah.
very popular.
The
back
Spice
in the day.
Girls kicked off a lot of those Talent Quest bands.
Another big artist, excuse the segue, another big artist at the time was Terence Trent D'Arby.
Terence Trent D'Arby.
Or Sananda Maitreya, he's now known as.
Is he?
Wow.
Yeah, he's changed his name.
Yes.
He
Yeah,
had
it's-
this, I think it's like a religious awakening or something like that. I don't, not even religious, more spiritual. And so he's gone into this whole other phase now where that he still plays all the old hits, but yeah,
Didn't he front In Excess?
he did, yeah. That was for the Rugby World Cup or something one year.
Is that it just for 1 year? It wasn't like they toured with him or something.
It might have, I think they did a couple of club shows as well.
Okay.
But yeah, he's done a lot of different stuff. He's also a Golden Gloves boxer.
Right.
So
Wow.
he's had an interesting
That's
life. I think he was.
multi-talented.
I think he was in the army or something for a while as well. And so,
Alright.
yeah, he's this very odd guy, very strange backstory.
Yeah.
Watching him perform, especially the upbeat songs like "If You Let Me Stay" and "Wishing Well" and stuff like that, you felt like it was like a Timu James Brown.
You said it was just,
Tough. That was tough.
But having said that, there was a song they did back in the day, "Dance Little Sister," and
which is a
again,
Rolling Stones song.
"Dance Little Sister, don't give up your day." Is that the
Oh, it's
one?
different.
Is that on Rolling Stones?
It's a different one, I think. But they had
Yeah.
a song called Dance Little Sister.
And the big
He's done a lot of
was,
covers. If you see a lot of his live stuff, he does a lot of Beatles and Stones covers.
yeah, the big hit we had back then as well was called "Sign Your Name Across My Heart."
Yeah.
And Wishing Well.
You have the concept of a mondegreen, which is mishearing lyrics. I used to always hear "Sign Your Name Across My Hesties," "Sign Your Name Across My Chest." I used to hear it as "Saturday, I lost your name." I
It always
misheard
reminds
the
me of
lyrics.
the Back to the D generation. There was a bit on the Late Show where they're singing "Living on a Prayer," and it's "Take my hand," and he goes, "No, it's not. It's take my hand." And then they turn around to Bon Jovi and go, "What was it, dude?" Next up, we have another Tina Turner disc,
Wow.
Barcelona.
live in Barcelona, 1990.
I wonder if Manuel was there. He's from
He's
Barcelona.
from Barcelona.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if the
he-
Faulty Towers references age as well as you think it has, Tennis. Oh.
Yeah, I've got no idea what that was. Yeah, she had an Australian manager, and in the movie, "What's Love Got to Do with It?" James Rain played her manager in the film.
Okay.
Little-
Fun fact.
What other bit of information have we got about, like she has a great
Well,
saxophone.
As we
When
found
we-
out recently,
yeah.
that Guns N' Roses may owe James Rain some money.
Guns N' Roses owes James Rain money.
Well, we were talking about on this, when Pat Finnerty did his show, and he was someone revealed that Guns N' Roses stole "Sweet Child of Mine" from an Australian
Right?
call center.
Yeah.
It's the same chord structure, very close vocal melody. Yeah, it's basically the same song. Just doesn't have the.
It was funny because the next day, like, I've got a lot of friends who are music geeks, and the next day my Facebook had the same post over and over again about how Guns N' Roses stole a chord change from Australian Crawl. Yeah. Okay, next up, we're getting towards the end, by the way. We have some TLC.
I was talking about
Oh.
Greens earlier.
I love
Their
it.
first
Calling that
album,
Crazy Video
Crazy
Cool. The album was
Sexy
Crazy
Cool.
Sexy Cool.
Yep. So this has Red Light Special, the music videos. It has Waterfalls.
That was their big
Um,
Which
hit.
is a song that they could that potentially they owe money to Paul McCartney on.
Yep.
It's
Why is that?
close.
Don't go chasing waterfalls is an actual lyric.
Yeah, it's exactly the first line of both songs is exactly the same, and then it goes. Even the second line, it's very close.
Mm.
Um,
I always
'cause
remember
this is don't go
the
chasing
album.
waterfalls. Please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. Whereas this is just don't go chasing waterfalls. Please keep to the lakes. So it's basically,
It's very similar.
yeah. If they've not heard, that is a huge coincidence. If they hadn't heard his song,
I think it was Weird Al that did the "Don't go making phony calls. Please stick
Yeah.
to them." Yeah. So and the last one's called "Digging on You," And it also includes some, making of footage and stuff like that. Is what people wanted when they got to stretch it out to an hour somehow. They can't do it with 3 songs. So
we were talking about
yeah.
misheard lyrics earlier. With they had a song called "Unpretty" that for years I thought my brother and I both thought that they were singing, "You can pick your nose if you said so," but it's actually "You can fix your nose if you said so."
You can pick your nose. Nice.
All right, and we're ending on a bit of an anticlimactic disc here. This is the last one. This was the Achtung Baby support disc that came out supporting the album Achtung Baby by U2.
But that was a big concept tour.
Yes, I've got there's you can get the tour disc as well, which was live in Sydney.
Yeah.
Very famously, where they ring. Oh no, wait, that's they ring a taxi cab. No, the one they do that was in Melbourne, where they ring Darren Hinch and wake him up out of bed, and Darren Hinch starts snapping at him and not realizing he's being broadcast on the MCG. No, this one, so the Sydney one was my favorite one. Was when my favorite part of the concert, I've talked about this before, is Bono's doing this big speech about how you've got to turn off your television and it's controlling your mind of wasted news, and starts flicking channels, and it's stuff like Hey Dad and the news and stuff like that. But then he changes the channel and there's the cricket's on, and he's performing at the Sydney Cricket,
Sydney Cricket Ground.
And there's this great bit where Ricky Ponting dives under the ball and does a catch and stops the fall from being hit. And the whole audience just switches off from the whole Bono rant and just goes, yeah!
Yeah, Ricky Ponting took a catch. Yeah.
And the whole point was completely lost.
My favorite U2 live story, and again, you read these, you don't know if they're true, but it's like Bono pauses one of the concerts to talk about because they're trying to raise money for the famine in Africa, and he's like every 2 seconds, like a child in Africa, he claps his hand and went, "A child
snapping his fingers.
Clap, a child just died. Clap, a child just died." And a voice gets picked up by the microphone. Someone just from within, "Stop doing it then, you mean bastard."
Yeah, it was snapping his fingers because it was that Live 8 era with Live 8 in the promotion. I don't know, snapping my fingers. Yeah. There was also the time they all got stuck in the lemon Spinal Tap style. They had a giant lemon on the stage. It was supposed to open up and they were going to come out of it. And yeah, they couldn't get it to open.
We salute you, our dark, semi-inflated citrus fruit.
It reminds me of that old ad, do you ever get the feeling sometimes that you've bought a lemon? That old ad, yeah. Anyway, so this is the music video promotional disc that came out for Achtung Baby. You've got Mysterious Ways. You've got One. Now, One had 3 different music videos made for it. One of them is just a buffalo running. Mysterious Ways, The Fly.
That's not pretentious at all.
What was that? Sorry?
They said that's not pretentious at all about the Buffalo video.
No.
They had been post-pretentious. Remember, this is the same band that also did.
I literally imagine Bono being told he's pretentious and going, "Pretentious? Moi?"
But
I know what you did there.
That black and white concert. What's it called? Oh, come on. 1990, they did that concert album movie. And it was like the most pretentious thing you've ever...
Oh, was it Rattle and Hum?
Yeah, Rattle and Hum. Thank you. Yeah, Rattle and Hum.
He goes on the whole rant about Irish Americans that have never been back to the home country and all this in America.
Yeah. They played, what was that song? Helter Skelter.
Oh, right.
And at the start of it, they mentioned another band that took it from the Beatles, and how Charlie Manson, I think it was, took it from the Beatles.
Right.
He's like, we're taking it back.
Yeah. Also, okay, while we're taking the piss out of you too, I thought Pet Shop Boys did it really well. Like they did a cover of Where the Streets Have No Name, which comes from one of the U2's most pretentious eras, the Joshua Tree, and then halfway through they break into "I love you, baby, and if it's quite all right, I need you, baby," which was beautiful.
Yeah, can't take my eyes off you. Yeah.
There was so around that time David Bowie had his side project called Tin Machine, and when YouTube brought out Achtung Baby, Tin Machine brought out their live album called Oy Vey Baby.
Nice. I also think Tin Machine is an underrated period for Bowie, honestly.
Absolutely, yeah.
I love Bowie during the mid-90s when he went into his full-blown rave, era.
Well, this was just before that. It was like the late 80s, early 90s. It's the same guitar player, Reeves Gabrels, who's now in The Cure. But they had this song on the second Tin Machine album called Shopping for Girls, which is incredibly appropriate with what's going on in the world now. It's basically sort of talking about the Epstein files before anybody knew about that. This was like 91 or something.
Yeah. I think I've told this story before, but we're talking about Bowie and rave and 90s when I was in a shared house and came home, maybe the worse for wear, maybe some not completely natural chemicals were in my system. And I crashed on the lounge at home at 3 a.m. and Rage was on. And I thought, this will keep me amused till I lose consciousness. And they were doing a Bowie retrospective. They were doing literally every video clip Bowie had ever done from the 60s through to then. And I was like, okay. And some of them were just like trippy as hell, which I thought Rage knows what they're doing when they program stuff to go to air at 3 a.m. But they then showed he did a stage play of Bertolt Brecht's Bale. And I was watching it going, why have I not? This is amazing. Why have I never seen this?
It's one of his best acting roles.
It's incredible.
I think it's on archive.com. If you .org.
Probably. But yeah, this just took me left field because I was an old theatre nerd, so I know Bertolt Brecht, and there was a whole stage show of David Bowie doing Bertolt Brecht's Bale, and it was so good.
They also released a an EP. I'll get it out.
And again, for non-theatre people, Bertolt Brecht was a very cranky German playwright, mid-20th century, but very influential. There it is. That's it. Bertolt Brecht's Bale. There you go.
So he re-recorded the songs from it. This was up until, well, I'd say, I think, they did a song called Safe in late 90s. But this was the last thing they did with Tony Visconti, who was his long-term producer, up until 1999 or whatever.
Yeah.
That's the single. There's a bit about Brecht on the back, which is all reversed here.
Okay, you can get it on YouTube. I literally just looked it up on YouTube. There's a lot of it on YouTube.
I think that the BBC showed a remastered version of it after he died. So there's a cleaner version of it now. But yeah, it's a great performance.
And yes, okay. So I just went back to look at the chat. You're singing a hi and Heini saying, not looking at the chat because we're recording this, but we're finished now. So I actually.
No, hang on. Let me do one last thing. Thank you for watching, guys. And I'll be back again with Angry Aussie next week, hopefully. And we will do back into movies, back into the home ground of what we know best. Thank you so much, Sim, for coming on to the show. And Tennis.
Tennis is giving you the thumbs up.
Thank you. And you can catch their channel, and they have a music show where they talk about one-hit wonders. that you may not have heard of, or even bands that like didn't quite make it and stuff like that. They
And
do
there's a lot of
retrospectives.
bands that did too. It's a bit of everything. And
Yeah,
Dennis does
there's a
Dennis
whole
does
Beck
the movie
section.
ones, and I do the
really
music.
love the Beck episode is great, where she goes right into like Beck between 93 and 96 or 97, I think, around about that.
So it's mostly about the One Foot in the Grave album, which is just before he really made it big.
Yeah.
And
So
then it
anyway-
goes on to his career after that. But yeah.
Yeah, Soul Manure, Stereopathic Soul Manure. I think there was something about that in there too, wasn't there?
A little bit about that, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's when
Anyway.
that album's got some of his weirdest songs, like the Cut in Half Blues and things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And today has been a fucked up day. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, we're getting
Beck got
sidetracked.
big enough to be on
By all means.
Futurama.
Yeah, check out. Yes, of course, he was. He was on Futurama when Bender got attacked by another
Yeah,
can
when
opener.
Bender was going to be performing with Beck, yeah.
Yeah,
Because I
And he's-
can't move my arms and
he's
legs.
paralyzed. Yeah.
yeah, and Zoidberg was coughing up beads.
Yeah.
So they could afford to keep buying petrol and fold them around in an old VW. Yeah. Anyway, we're getting
Been
so
making fine jewelry for years, apparently.
yeah, no, it's been a pleasure doing this music episode for a change. And seriously, we can't even stop. So we're going to go.
No,
Thank you very much.
We're just going on.
Thank you for having us. And yes, hello, everybody watching. No, we're leaving now. Oh, goodbye, everybody watching. Goodbye, Charlie. Goodbye, Angry. Goodbye,
Goodbye,
Tennis.
Dennis. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for watching.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, now we can talk again. Thank you.
All right, have fun editing. Oh, Soph's there. Hey, Soph.
I've been in the background the entire time being as
Oh.
quiet as a mouse there.
Oh, you were quiet as a mouse, Soph. You really were.
Did that go
Which is
okay?
good.
And then I didn't know
Considering-
Sim was coming on, and that made me excited, and I almost called out, but I bloody didn't.
Yeah, and
With
considering
alcohol, that is
She is-
extremely strong.
she is very pissed.
Okay.
As you should be, Soph. As you should be. You work hard, have a
Well, I
few
didn't
good
think it'd be
drinks.
It's really strong compared to normal.
Oh, sorry.
I don't mind.
So is that okay?
Yeah, good luck editing, Charlie.
Quiet that entire time.
Actually, now I can get a beer.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, that's good.
Oh,
I wasn't sure if some of it went down or not, but yeah.
It's all down to Charlie. He can edit it now. We did like an
Oh,
hour.
okay, so it's all,
We,
we'll
we
just
did
drop
an,
it on Charlie now.
we did an hour and a half of rambling.
Yes.
Charlie can edit it to whatever he wants.
Right, that's fair.
Oh, I'm
Don't
also,
forget to stop your microphones if you haven't yet.
All right.
actually excellent. I had not. I had forgotten.
Yeah, same.
Makes it so much easier with those things. I don't have to hear as many echoes.
Yeah.
Right, so I can turn that off now. I could probably turn the ring light off too now, can't I?
And there's occasionally at times when we talk over each other, and I can mute one person out and choose who I want to let through. You know.
Yeah. It's C'est la vie. That's right. Oh God, actually,
Yeah.
Charlie, this is a left field thing. I don't remember what this was called, but someone released a movie, and this was 10, 15 years ago at least, and there were all these different views, and it was centered around an earthquake in LA, and you could choose. There'd be like 4 screens with 4 different people in different parts doing stuff simultaneously, and you could choose which one you centered on. There'd be 4 things, and you go like, and you could go and go, I'm going to focus on that one. Like it'd be split screen, like with 4 things happening, and characters would go. Do you remember that?
No.
So I know of something you're talking about. I don't remember a volcano one.
No, it was an earthquake, not a volcano.
Oh, sorry, earthquake. Okay.
Now I'm searching, and it was by a
Okay.
famous
So
director.
in 1995, there was
Continental
a movie that
Split.
came out called Mr. Payback, and it
No,
was
it's not
written and directed by Bob Gale, who wrote the story for Back to the Future, and it had a movie that would play, and then down the bottom had 4 options that you could choose what happens next, and every person in the cinema got a controller.
Oh,
And they-
you got to vote.
And you
All
got- yeah. And all that ran on Laserdiscs, and that's why I know
Yeah.
about it, right? Is because it's all Laserdisc connected, right?
That's pretty
Oh.
cool.
Now this got into my head. I'm going to have to try and remember because it was a famous director and there were 4 screens and you used your remote to pick which one the audio would play through. And there was a version where you could choose like what was the director's choice, where the director would choose to highlight different screens at different times. But you could just play it and just use your remote to choose which one you were highlighting.
Was this a DVD that you had?
It was a DVD. It was a DVD.
Yep. So I have Die Hard on DVD, and that has on the remotes. You may remember there was a button called Angle.
Yeah.
Right. Angle could choose and change what video you got to see.
Okay, I've never heard of that with Die Hard.
Yeah. So Die Hard had that on DVD as well. So that's something else I'm thinking of.
Yeah, no, okay, it's got into my head, and it was a bit of a thing when it came out, but I can't remember what it was, but it was a reasonably famous director who did it as well. But I'm blanking. And so because what was interesting, they did it live. Basically, the actors all had a script, and all 4 scenes were recorded live. And because the people were in different places, but they were in the same city, so particularly because an earthquake happened, it happened to all of them at the same time.
Okay.
Anyway,
It's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
It's
It's
like
like
a choose your own adventure movie.
yeah. There's occasionally people have done stuff for TV where the episode's been broadcast live. Like it's not even recorded live, it's broadcast. So it's like a stage play. ER did it. Weirdly, the sitcom Mad About You did it. They had a live single shot episode. And there was, I forget what it was called, but it was like a George Clooney produced TV movie. And it was kind of Doctor Strange serious. It was about a potential nuclear war. It was essentially Doctor Strangelove, but serious.
I think it was Quatermass. There was like a remake of Quatermass.
This was literally US nuclear bombers going to drop bombs on Russia.
I may be getting confused with something else.
George Clooney and fucking Richard Dreyfuss. Richard Dreyfuss was the US president, and a lot of big stars. But this was another one. It was broadcast live on TV, so it was essentially a stage play, but they were different studio bits. Like there was the Situation Room where the president was. There was the B-52 thing.
So, Mad About You, Friends, and Seinfeld had one night where there was a blackout in New York. And all 3 episodes had that blackout. And it was one on after each other.
Oh, that's neat. That's not what I was thinking about, but that's neat.
Sorry, I was just thinking about things like event TV that was like
no. Which is the thing that used to happen back in the day, event TV.
I know that Blue Heelers did it as well. That was really good.
Yes, Blue Healers, Event T. When I think Event TV, I think
Yeah.
Blue Healers.
It was a big event for Australia because I think they were the only ones that did it in Australia. Because when you think about television, early television was all live.
Yeah.
So
Oh my God. Prime Video in Australia has hours of the old Graham Kennedy show from the 60s and 70s. It's fascinating. They would do live ads for things with chroma keying and it's crazy. But particularly the stuff from the 60s is so anarchic. It's incredible.
I wish they'd do more of that now on television because now everything's like reality shows, and I'd much rather than bring in something that was actually done live by comedians or actors or something. And just,
But if you want to get tripped out, check out Prime Video Australia has old Graham Kennedy show stuff. From
That
the 60s.
kind of entertainment was super duper expensive, though. And that's why they don't do it anymore. Have you noticed another thing I hate about game shows don't have prizes anymore? It's always cash, 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 you know.
Yeah.
I haven't watched game shows for 20 years, so no, I don't know that.
Whenever I go to Sophie's mum's house, she's always got the game shows on. She loves the Chaser and stuff
Family
like that.
Feud.
Yeah.
Million Dollar.
Not Family Feud. There's no Family Feud, though.
Not Family Feud.
No.
What's the one with the big families then? There's one with the big family. There's $1 Million Hot Seat or something like that. She watches.
There was always the joke with game shows in the 80s and 90s of there was a whole sort of model whose whole thing was showing you a product. And so they had to practice the hand movements. It was
Yeah. That's in LA Story.
Yes,
Sarah
she's
Jessica
wants to be a game show model. Yeah.
Yeah, goes to like lessons to do it, you know, to how to present, you know, properly. Yeah. Anyway, it's going over our
It's
time.
going over. I'm going to go to bed.
That wasn't why I was yawning. I wasn't getting into, you know, I just needed to yawn.
It's pretty cool because I'm not going into the office because
it's a weekday for Angry, so he doesn't stay up as late as the Friday.
But yeah, I'm not going into the office. Mrs. Angry's sick, and I'm probably contagious. So everyone in my office will be appreciative that I don't go in and make.
So someone's going to pump the Plex this week. Yep.
Oh, well, I'm still going to be working. I'm just going to be working from home.
I'm going to be working in a pool.
I'll have to get pretty messed up to actually call in sick, but we'll see. So after you miss me, I just ate the cherries, but I'm going to Sleepy Bobos now. So in all probability, unless I get really sick, I'll be back on Tuesday. So thanks, Sim and Charlie. But I will say...
1 second. Answer Sim's questions. Laserdisc has the same audio as CDs. CDs and Laserdisc have the same audio.
Same audio quality. There you go.
Thank you. Sorry. Okay. No, everybody. No, thank you.
Good night.